Okay guys, hello, and I just had another idea. I had this laying around. This is from other stuff that I built. It's just a piece of wood around with the holes. They doesn't matter. They were just there. So what I've done is this is the rotor that I've wind with a thin wire, as I was showing before. I just glued it here on the center. It has this hole, and this is the rotor that I made previously. And I decided to do something now, which is I'll just leave this because it has the map. I'll put it in. So now it can spin here on this base with the stator inside. So what I decided to do is, I have many scrap things around, and one of the things that I have, it's these washing machine coils, induction coils. They are for the valves to bring the water in and out of the machine. So once you induce current, they lock, and once you release the current, then they just unlock and the water comes in. Probably it's the opposite way, I don't know. I don't know much about washing machines, but that's my theory. I think it is like that. So I also made something before with these coils, and they give you a really high current and electricity. So I decided I also have these electric pipe holders, and they fit really nice in here. They just get stuck here, and since I still have the magnets still are outside of this rotor, I can use that to produce also more energy. So what I'm going to do is just lay down this here. I have more here. I'm gonna lay them down all around like so, and I'm gonna connect it. So when I'm spinning it, I'm producing energy inside on the stator and also outside on these coils. I have more. I'll put as much as I can, like that. This one already has, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the screw inside to give some core on the inside of the coils, because it takes the magnetic field easier to the inside of the coils, and hopefully that gives more current, more electricity. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fit all these screws inside and attach this to this wooden disc. I even have more here. Can probably do that, like put another one here, and that would be crazy. I'm gonna put that. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Or probably not, because well, they will always have positive and negative. But if I'm gonna connect them in series, I have to deal with the polarity of this. If they are repelling in one side, I want them to be attracting on the other side. So I have to think about it, how I'm going to do this, if I'm going to use them all as much as I can and put them on series or parallel, because if it's parallel I can just put as many as I can here, and the alternating current or the field from the magnets, it will just produce energy on them. So I think I'm gonna try different ways. So I'm not gonna stick them here. I'm just gonna glue them. I'm not gonna screw them for now, and try with as many as I can and see how much I can take out of this. Because before I used this and I was lighting light bulbs from a house, those 40 watt and 60 watt light bulbs. I even have here, I'm gonna show you the thing that I was using. Just a second, wait a minute. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. So this is quite heavy. Oh, wait a minute. There's so many shits around. So much. This is so heavy. I mean, it's heavy because I have this shit inside. Oh, fuck. Okay. Let me see if I can put this here and show you guys what it was. Okay. I have to open this a little bit. Okay. So this is what I had before. This was another project that I've done and it works quite well. This is just have to knock it a little bit probably because it's it's just so I can show you guys how it was. And well, it's quite hard to do this here. Okay, but it's okay for now to show you just how I had it. So this is a rotor from a ceiling fan, those that cool down. And it was a lot of coils here around inside here on this. I think I have them here. Yeah, I have them here. I can show you. These were the coils that were just inside this, all around. And this was a 220 volt ceiling fan. So what I've done was I had magnets here in all these poles, and they were all facing repelling and pulling and repelling and pulling. So then what I had was these coils that I've just shown you before from the washing machine, and they were here. They were just a little bit higher, and this was working like that. And spinning at this speed, I was getting 500, 600 volts out of this. And they were not neodymium magnets. They were just ferrite magnets, which are not very strong. If they were neodymium, this shit would be powerful. And yeah, just by spinning like this, which I was doing like that with my hand, I was getting a really high voltage. And current was around 2-3 amps minimum. Imagine if you have this on a windmill and it's spinning like crazy. So the rotor also gives some weight, and yeah, and that's the way I had it. It was a lot of coils until here. I could have been going around, but I didn't. I was just from here to here, this side here. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coils like this. And trust me guys, I think I have somewhere a video that I've made with this. Probably I'll put it also on YouTube for you guys to see. But I have a video of that. I'll look for it and I'll put, just to show you guys the power this thing was putting out. If you guys want me to show you, just leave me a message and make a like, subscribe, all that crap, and I'll look for the video and show you guys the power this thing was generating. My brother made this out of pallets. This is just the wood. It could be plywood, which it would be better because it's all the same piece, and this is already cracking and coming apart. This was just momentarily for testing. So these coils, my friends, they are, it's a very thin wire inside, but it's like 1,000 turns inside, so you can imagine the amount of power and electricity this comes out. These are bearings from the washing machine. Normally I use everything from scrap things that I salvage. I tend to buy as minimum as possible to keep the free energy as free as possible, because for me the energy is always free. The problem is to build the equipment to generate that energy, but the energy, you can get it for free. It's ridiculous to say there is no free energy. Of course there is. I'm not paying for it, so it's free. The energy, it's free, not the equipment. If you buy a solar panel, is it free energy? Yeah, it's free energy. You just pay for the solar panel. If it's a windmill, is it free energy? Yeah, it's free energy. The wind is free, so you just pay for the windmill. But infinite and over unities, and that's all crap in my opinion. I've tried some things. I already knew that they were not possible, but I've tried some other things with magnets and all that shit. But you cannot just grab magnets and put them all spinning, because you get to a point that the magnetism has to stop in one point. You can tighten more and more magnets and do whatever you want, but there is always a spot where they will break, where the field will collapse, and that's when the thing stops. But and you cannot put 12 volts 1 amp and generate 120 and 20 amps. It's impossible. That's physics. It's impossible. Don't try that. Don't even bother, because you cannot do it. And if you can do it, please come to me and show me that live. I would be very happy to see that miracle. Because power, it's the same everywhere. You put a certain amount of power. If you have 1 kilogram, let's imagine like this, if you have 1 kilogram falling, that kilogram of mass has a certain amount of power. So you cannot extract more than that. It's impossible. If you have 1 liter of water, you cannot extract more energy from, or hydrogen from that water than it's in that water. And so on, like with everything. It's things, they have, even a stone, it has a certain amount of pressure in its structure. That is energy, that is power, that it's there. There's probably not now a physical way of extracting that energy from a regular stone, but you can extract it by the weight that it has, and that mass, the weight, it's the energy that it's inside. And but you cannot invent energy out of more energy than it already has. It's impossible. It's ridiculous. It's stupid to do that. So you can create some equipment that it's, oops, it's just dropped. You can invent or create some equipment to extract energy from something, but you will not for sure extract more than it's supposed to. So, as I was saying, that's what I'm gonna use now here. Those induction coils. Normally they have a core of iron, and what happens is, once you induce current, they lock the valve, and once you release the current, or they just go back. Now that I'm doing this movement, I realized something, which is when you turn on the machine, probably there's already a current there initially that brings back the valve to be open. And I'm not sure if it stays like that. It's possible. And once you induce current, invert the current, it will just lock and stop the water from coming out. But it has to stay like that, and then it just goes back again when it has to be open. So probably there is always a constant current there to keep the valve open or closed. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to glue these things here and attach the wires, and I'm going to show you guys when this is spinning how much current and voltage we can get out of this. So let's do it, and see you soon. Okay, so we have marked now the place where we're gonna put the holders for the coils, and we're gonna drill that with the machine. So let's step to the drilling part. Let's just focus there a little bit so you guys can see, not that it's something special, but we're gonna start drilling. Yep, there you are. These are the holes now for the screws, so it's a little bit more easy to go through the plywood. And let's attach the holders.